Hey ladies. So I just thought, since I have the time right now before I do my podcast, I'm going to just jump in here and show you how I do my meals, track my meals. Oh, this just is not how I want it to be. Sorry. Bear with me. Anyway, okay. So just kind of show you how I go about making my meals. Now I make this same meal every single day. On the weekends, during the week, and on the mornings that I have, so it's kind of, I call it my pre-workout meal, but it's also my breakfast, depending on the day. So what I do is on the days that I have to go to work, I will do this the night before, put it in a glass bowl, and it's ready to go for the next day. So that way I'm prepared. I don't have to get up and try to do it in the morning because I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't really need to wear these until I get on my phone, but I'll just keep them on. Anyway, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. And if you have any questions, ask while you're watching, because I will come back and answer. If you're here, say hello. Hey, Monica. All right, so I'm gonna start with my eggs. So again, this is what I do. This is my second meal of the day. I call it my second meal because my first meal is always my hormone smoothie. And this is exactly what I do. But again, I'm gonna show you kind of how I measure, how I make things more simple. First, I just use butter in my pan. Yeah, that little part I just put in my mouth, not counting that. Okay, so I'm gonna put some butter in here. I'm gonna throw some onions in. I don't count my onions. I don't track them because they're just onions, really not a lot of stuff in there. What I'm finding with some of you that I know you get frustrated with, the tracking seems time consuming. It seems like it gets frustrating. I don't know about you, but sometimes the app really makes me irritated. Like when I go and I put all the stuff in, then for some reason it disappears. Oh, I get so mad. You should hear me. I want to throw my phone. So I feel ya. I get frustrated as well. But I'll tell you one thing that really helps, and I know I've showed you this before, and I'm going to show you when I get to it, but I always write things down on my notebook, because as I'm doing it, if I don't want to track it right away, so then it's always there, and I don't have to try to remember what I did. So, like I said, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to put the onions down. I don't need to put down, I'm going to do 2 eggs, and I'm going to do egg whites, guys. Most simple way to bump up your protein in the morning, or if you're doing eggs, because without adding fats, because if you're going to do an egg, there's going to be fat in there, right? If you just do an egg white, there's no fats in there, so that's not going to bump up your calories real quick. Also, it's not going to bump up your fats, especially if that's something that you're finding that you're going over a lot on. So I like these to just get a little bit crispy. So I guess I'm just going to put a little bit more. What else goes in here? So once I get in my eggs, I'm going to show you how I do this. So I love putting this Boar's Head turkey pepperoni. Check your pepperoni if you're using it. Don't get the crap that has junk in it. Make sure it's clean. But the easiest way that I find, again, remember I'm trying to make this all quicker, right? Easier to do. So it's more productive. That's not the word I want to use. You know what I'm trying to say. So I will just put this on my scale, the bag. Put it on my scale. Zero it out. And then the amount of turkey pepperoni that I want to use. Raise up a little. I will just pull it out, because then it tells me exactly how much pepperoni I'm using without having to measure it on there and dirty something else and try to figure it out. So I pulled this out. It is 12 grams. I'm going to set that right there because I'm going to cut it off my eggs. Perfect. I'm also going to write it down so I don't forget. 12 pepperoni. So simple, easy. You can do that with anything, with any package. You can just pull it out. Like if I do my protein powder and I'm not measuring it in my, for some reason, if I just want to measure it and then throw it in my shaker bottle, I'll just put the protein bag on my scale, zero it out, and pull out what I'm going to use. Right? It's quicker than doing all the things or getting other dirty dishes. Okay, so my onions are good. I'm going to throw in my eggs. Again, if you're finding that you have questions as we go along, make sure you ask. This wrong order. I usually put my spinach in. I will be throwing that in. Again, I put it in just as a cup of spinach, but I really don't measure it out because spinach, I was just talking with a client about this. Green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, sorry, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, like I talked about the other day. They're a lot of fiber and really dense, and so they don't have a lot of calories in them. So it's okay to not track them if you don't want to. Again, something to save you time. If you don't want to track them, don't. I don't track the cabbage all the time. I don't track my spinach. Because it's a lot of fiber and there's hardly any calories in it. So, all right. Next, I do like to cut up my pepperoni to put it in my eggs instead of big old chunks. So I just like this. Again, right in the pan. Make it super easy. Except for now it's not going to stick because my spinach is on top. Let's see if we can stir that in a little bit. All right. So I know that I have the pepperoni. I did 2 eggs. From egg whites. I usually do this pretty well, but I guess when I'm talking, I'm not good. But that'll be perfect. So I'm gonna do, usually I do 3, but I've been doing 5 just to get a little bit more protein. This is 4, and this is 5. So then what I do when I go into the app and ask for tablespoons of egg whites, I just put in 5. So 5 egg whites. Again, easy way to get your protein out, super quick, and get it in that first meal. Let's see, because 3 tablespoons has 5 grams. If you do 2 of those, that's 10 grams to bump up. So just something to keep in mind. Let's see, what else we got? I am gonna have, so my starch today, especially on days when I'm at home and on the weekends, is a piece of gluten-free bread because, yes, you can have it. Remember, you just wanna have it balanced with your protein. And I do measure my bread. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll tell you how many times things have been off when I've measured them versus what they say on the actual bag. So I will zero this out. I know what the bread is. I'll put that in. Wait quick before I toast it, because it'll probably weigh a little bit more when it's toasted. 35 grams. So if I look on here, it says 1 slice is 37 grams. Now granted, it's only 2 gram difference, but in the end that can make up a lot, right? So better to just measure it if you have the time. Put that down. Flip these eggs, hopefully without making a mess. Because protein, right? We always want to focus on getting more protein, adding more protein when we can. Plate on here, zero it out. I'm going to do these Amy Lou chicken sausages because they're, again, easy way to get protein without adding a bunch of fat. And I cook, get these at Costco. I air fry them for like 5 to 8 minutes, done. And then I have all these that I can use all week long. This is something also I will measure out. So I'll do 2 of them actually. I'm just gonna go here. These I found have been pretty close. These are 38 and they say 41 on the package. So I'm gonna put 38 sausages. This is what I find works best for me, especially because I don't want to try and put it in my phone while I'm cooking it. Pretty good at multitasking, but this is a lot. A lot of yummy food, a lot of protein in here. You know what's ironic? I used to hate onions, hated them. Especially raw onions. But I've been loving these in all my foods now, and my husband even said it's so weird seeing you cook with onions. They just add a little bit extra flavor, which before I didn't like. But again, they are the sweet onions, and they have to be cooked. I will not eat raw onions. If there's a raw onion with something in my food, that's all I taste is onion the rest of the day. And don't like it. All right, so while this is sitting here, so I measured these out. I'm gonna throw these in the microwave. Wait for my toast. Also, make sure, so I'm tracking my butter, so I did a teaspoon in there, and I'll probably do a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons on, I'm not measuring it on, I'm just kind of guessing, on my toast. Let's see, what else? So then what I will do is, once I sit down to eat, then I'll take out my phone, my napkin, and as I'm chewing, because you should chew a lot when you're eating, right? You should chew a lot so that your body can digest. I'll just go in and enter my foods. And as I've shown you before, I eat the same meal, so I can go back to yesterday, copy yesterday's meal to today. Granted, yesterday I had sweet potatoes, so I will swipe over, delete the sweet potatoes, add in the bread and the extra butter. Make sure that everything else lines up. I don't remember if I did pepperoni or not yesterday, but just kind of check, like, is everything that I'm eating today from yesterday on there? Are the amounts the same? If not, just kind of adjust them. And that's it. I mean, that's how easy it is. And I do this for a lot of my meals. Granted, I'm not cooking. This is probably the only meal that I cook during the week because the rest of them are all prepped. Because I have all those foods, like I showed the other day, to just pull and put on my plate, right? But same thing, I will, especially if I'm getting home. If I'm getting home from work and I'm hungry, because I'm always hungry. My husband makes fun of me because I could eat all the time. And I'm like, oh, I just don't have the patience right now to put my foods in as I'm doing it. As I'm putting it on my plate, I'll write it down, and then I sit down to eat my meal, and then I add it into my app. This is Dollar Store, and it's not even done yet, and I got a couple of them. You can get these and just have them. I have it right by my scale in the kitchen. I think that's it for my meals. Again, we're going to be doing that training on the 22nd, so don't forget to mark your calendar for that at 2 o'clock. If you're not going to make it, it will be recorded, but I would love for a bunch of you to show up, because as you see me doing things, you can be like, oh yeah, I remember this question, or oh yeah. So I want you to be there because I want it to be a little bit more interactive. I think that's it. But I just wanted to show you how, and as you get in practice and do this more and more and more, it gets easier, right? You get, and if you eat a lot of the same foods, it makes it more simple to track. And instead of thinking of it as, oh, it's daunting and annoying and a pain in the butt, which I get, that's why sometimes I just take a break for a couple days because I just need to not. Think of it as a learning tool. You are using tracking to learn. Am I getting enough protein? When I eat these foods, how do I feel? Oh, well, I'm still hungry. I probably didn't eat enough. Or maybe I had too many carbs and my blood sugar went bonk. Or I'm craving something. Oh, maybe I ate too many carbs today and not enough protein. Like, you're learning from this. This isn't about hitting them perfectly. This isn't about, this is making me lose weight. It's a learning process, and it's learning to see how your body's responding with the food that you're putting in your body, and then how it's responding, then the results that you're getting, right? So use this as a learning tool, and hopefully this kind of helps you to see just how simple you can make it, and use it as a tool for you. So if you have any questions about anything that I showed you, go ahead and post below. Let me know if you watch this in the replay so I see who checked it out, and have a great rest of your day.